December the 7th, 2017. You're looking at NOAA's National Weather Center website. And you've got a couple things here we're dealing with, and the headlines at the top kind of cover it, but I'm going to go into a little more detail because some things have changed since this morning, especially for the South. But it says extreme fire weather conditions in Southern California and a wintry in the Great Lakes and the South. Persistent and strong Santa Ana winds will bring extreme fire weather conditions to Southern California through at least Saturday, guys. It's 2 more days. Meanwhile, lake effect snows will continue downwind of the Great Lakes. A strong upper-level system will also produce a wintry mix from Texas into the southeast states through Friday. Now, when they say a strong upper-level system, if you watch my videos, we're talking about the Arctic Vortex, and it's dipping extremely far south for this time of the year. Usually we have this weather a little further on, January, February, things like that. And if you watch my videos for the last few years, I've talked about what's called a mini ice age, and it's connected with solar minimums. And then when you go into what's called a grand solar minimum, like we are going through now, experiencing now, the winters become harsher. And that period can build for 15 to 17 years. And when you go into these grand minimums, and these for example, the Marder minimum. When the Marder minimum came in during the solar minimum, there was extreme ice coverage all through the north and northeast. That was a greater cause of migration to California, that Marder minimum, than the gold rush. Do you understand what I'm saying? It wiped out crops. It stayed cold. There was even 1 year without a summer during that Marder minimum. Look it up. Look at the images and the paintings and the drawings from that time. It's amazing. But anyway, I think that's what we're dealing with. So we got the high winds in California with the fire. You got the lake effect snows up north. But the South tonight is going to be the second most dangerous place to be. California, you are catching it, and I've been covering it for a couple of days now. And after this video, I'm going to look at the updates from the LA area, Ventura, and if I can find out anything new, then I'll report it. More than likely, it's going to be changing quickly because the late afternoon news from LA, or the mid-afternoon news, was the guy was saying the winds were picking up, and I've been checking out that live link that I put on the video this morning. But now let's look across the South. What we're dealing with here, and in the purple, for example, this is the way Mississippi and Alabama was looking this morning. But suddenly now, and that's a winter weather advisory, but here where I live in central Mississippi over into west central Alabama, that has changed from a winter weather advisory to a winter storm warning. You can check it out right here, guys. See this particular pink code? And that's what we're dealing with here in South Texas. And I just got off the phone with someone from El Paso, and you can see that area has also changed from the weather advisory or winter weather advisory into this winter storm warning. And what they're talking about, guys, when you go from a winter weather advisory, in this case in central Mississippi, 2+ inches lasting from about 9 p.m. tonight Central Time into Friday afternoon. 2+ inches, and that's going to tell you that your bridges and overpasses are going to freeze. Contact everyone you know, and every one of us know a lot of people, and I talked to about 10 today that had no clue that we were expecting snow tonight here. Had no clue. Many of them work outside. It was amazing. But anyway, contact everyone you know in these areas. If you got kids there and their kids may be going out tonight to a movie, whatever, a ball game, whatever. Everything's changing now. We're having this Arctic Vortex dip, and things are going to be a little tougher than expected. People are going to die on the highways tonight. I was trapped in this weather about a year ago. I think it was in January, coming out of Roswell, New Mexico, down through Texas. And it was a nightmare. We made it, but it was a nightmare. So you don't want to be trapped in that. And some places in Texas are somewhat used to this now. Going down south, look at that. You're down around Corpus Christi in that area. That's pretty cold. But people in central Mississippi are not really used to this, and to this west central Alabama area, especially this early in the year. So make sure that everyone you know, listen to me. We've already done it. Friends, family are aware of the weather. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I talked to some people today that had no clue. Right here where I'm at. Now they're getting firewood and things like that ready. So please contact everyone that you know. Tell them do not get on the roads. Make sure they're okay. And guys, don't forget, and that's one reason I have firewood and a wood burner heater backup. Because when you get ice, we have power lines that collapse. Limbs fall on power lines. There's not a lot of high wind warnings at this point, but the rains are moving. Let's look at the radar 1 second. And starting on the West Coast, guys, you need the moisture more than anyone in the U.S. right now. I wish it was coming in there. But you got the dry Santa Ana winds. But even that is unusual because it's not the right time of the year for that. You're a couple months off. But what's happening, you're seeing the Arctic Vortex, which is this large, clear area through here, just like this. And it's diving down from the north to the south in this direction. So that pressure system they're talking about, as what's happening is that's pushing the winds down your throat right here. And then as it comes out of the mountains across that valley, it's pushing it out to sea. But if we look at this in motion, and this is going to be the problem. We've got cold weather coming in for over a week. We've got plenty of moisture that's feeding into Texas. And it's going to extend through the entire southeast, all the way up into the southern tips of South Carolina, possibly all the way far south is the Florida Panhandle, depending on how far this vortex dips. But tonight, you saw the winter storm warnings here in central Mississippi and parts of Texas. You guys pay attention to it. Don't let your friends and family drive if there's any way that you can stop it, because we do not want to see them on the headlines tomorrow. This is a heads up. Be safe.